Quiet, please. I'm trying to talk.
Oh, yes, miss. No, miss, please don't give me a detention.
No, I'm sure you're wondering why I've kept you late tonight.
Well, it's very inconvenient. I mean, I should have been out working down at the
I
canteen.
didn't know you worked. I don't work. And I didn't know you work.
Of course I work. I do a couple of hours at the hospice shop on a Tuesday, help at the church bookstore on a Monday, Girl Guides on a Wednesday, and cancer research on Thursdays and Fridays.
It's very good of you to give up so much of your time. If only everyone would do the same, the world would be a much kinder place. I was only saying to Mrs. Stevens the other day, you know Mrs. Stevens, don't you? She's the one with the sore knee and the cataracts and the bad shoulder, and now her back's gone funny. And I said to her...
Firstly, can I say how grateful I am to you all for staying behind?
I didn't have anything else to do. I'll never have anything else to do. Although I might have. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I go out on a Tuesday.
It's Thursday.
No, I don't go out on a Thursday.
You are out.
No, only on a Tuesday.
And secondly,
What's wrong with her, Frank?
who's back?
What, Mrs. Stevens? Oh, she's a nice lady, you know. I've known her for many years, and I'll go round there and have a cup of coffee every now and then. She's got a nice husband and 3 lovely daughters.
No, she's got 2 sons.
As well as 3 daughters, Mom. That's a big family.
No, she's only got 2 sons.
And secondly,
How long's this list going to be?
not very long if you don't keep interrupting me.
I've got a pile of ironing to do.
I'll be as quick as I can.
Oh, and they said to do a steak pie for tea. You know, my Jim don't like it if he doesn't get his tea on time.
I can imagine. Now, secondly,
Shouldn't that be a 3rd point?
no,
Only, I think you said secondly before. Actually, twice before, so I think it should be 4th point.
no, it shouldn't. I have said secondly before, but I didn't say what the second point was.
Shouldn't you have done?
Of course I should, but I didn't.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't.
I thought you did.
Look, we're going to be here all night this week.
Not if you don't keep interrupting me.
I think Val is trying to get on with it if we would just give her a chance. I mean, she is our leader after all. I mean, she's given service for years and years and years. I really admire that sort of sacrifice.
Thank you, Sally.
Agree?
What's wrong with her back?
Mrs. Stevens, do you know, it took an age to get an appointment. You know what these doctor receptionists like, won't let you in unless you're dying. Anyway, finally after 2 weeks she gets in there. He says to her good morning, and then she says...
Will you please be quiet?
No, she didn't say that. She said my back's gone funny.
No, please, Sally. I'm trying to tell you all something. Now listen.
Right, no, sorry, Val, I will always listen.
If I make a change.
I always listen to Val. She is in charge. She is our leader.
How about saying another word?
My lips are sealed.
Now, ladies, where did I get to?
Don't know. What we do? What we say? We're going to take Grace off the bed.
Now, we are all friends here,
Thanks to me.
and we've all worked harmoniously for many years.
Oh yes, I've really enjoyed it. I've loved working here and meeting so many nice people and sitting out on the desk and selling the tickets and stamping them.
Good.
Yeah, and you've added up the money incorrectly on every occasion.
I don't think so. I'm very good at English.
Maths.
No, no good at those.
No, when you add up, you use maths.
I don't. I use my fingers.
However, all good things must come to an end.
Are you going to take me off the desk?
Oh, well done, Val. It's the best thing you've ever done.
That is a little unkind, Diane. Grace means well.
Yeah, but you can't add up.
That's why I've never volunteered to go on the desk.
No, but you've used your other skills.
Cleaning, that ain't a skill.
It is very necessary, though, because we all like the museum to look very nice and clean. Yes, I like the glass cases to show time.
They always have. You've done well, Liz.
Well, they don't stay like it for long though, do they? One school party and they're covered in fingerprints and worse. You know, I saw chewing gum on the floor again the other day.
Regrettable, but they are a valuable source of income.
And fingerprints, do they come off?
What? Off your fingers?
No, off the glass cases.
Oh, well, that's good, because otherwise the police wouldn't be able to arrest anyone. Do you know they take impressions of your fingers by putting them in ink?
You watch too much telly.
No, I had my fingerprints taken once.
Really? What for?
Well, you see,
Now, can we get back to the matter in hand?
fingerprints on your hand.
No, where did I get to?
You've taken Grace off the front desk because she's incompetent.
No, I haven't.
Well, you should have done because she is.
Oh, goody, so you mean I can stay? Oh, because I really love putting the date stamp on the tickets, and you know, it's really quite skilled. You have to get the right amount of ink on the pad and then push it down with the right amount of pressure, otherwise the ink all smudges. I'm really quite skilled. So I can stay, can I?
No, you can't. None of us can. We've got to go.
Go, leave.
I don't understand.
Well, it ain't that difficult.
Well, I think it is. I mean, what am I going to do for my little bit of community work? I do love this, it suits me, because Jim doesn't like me being out of the house for too long.
Why have you got to leave?
The museum's closing.
Oh, that can't be true. I mean, everyone loves our museum. I mean, I was only talking to a woman in the street the other day, and she said, I love your museum. And I said, I'm so glad. And she said, he really was wonderful, wasn't he? All those marvellous sculptures. And I said, yes, he really was wonderful. And then she said, yes, he was really, really wonderful.
Oh, it's a fascinating story. When did this woman last come and visit the museum?
6 years ago. But she said she'd never come again, however wonderful the statues were.
Well, and that's the whole problem. No one comes again. We're only a small town, and everyone who wants to see the statues has already been.
Then they should come again, and I can stamp the tickets.
But they don't come again.
She said she'd never come again. She said one of the volunteers was very rude to her.
Rubbish! My volunteers are exemplary.
She said she only touched one of the large sculptures because it was so beautiful.
Touched one of the sculptures! Disgusting!
And the volunteer shouted at her and said it was, disgusting.
I suppose it was. I'm glad she's not coming back.
What am I going to do? I'll have nothing to do. I'll just have to sit at home.
Oh, that'd be ridiculous. There's other things you can do.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Like what?
I know. You can take your dog for a walk.
I don't have a dog.
Oh, yeah. Right. It's a shame because I'd like to take your dog for a walk. Would you let me?
No. I don't think I would. Oh, you should, because I think Grace would treat it really nicely.
Oh, I would. I'd pat it on the head and I'd stroke it down the back and I'd do your ears and oh, no. I'd give it dog biscuits and everything.
I do not have a dog.
Oh, never mind Liz's dog.
I don't have a dog.
That's a shame. I'd like to take it for a walk.
To get back to the matter in hand.
Fingerprints!
No, the closure of the museum.
Well, it's obvious to me. The whole place has been inefficiently run. You know what? I offered to do the books, but that pompous ass, Eric, said he was an accountant and that he'd do them. Now look what he's got us closing down.
Well, that's typical men for you, isn't it? Say they'll do a job and then they can't do it properly. They just make a total mess of it.
In Eric's defence.
Oh, don't defend him. He's lost us our livelihoods.
But we weren't paid, so I think that's a little bit harsh.
Exactly. We weren't paid, so we've got no rights. And now we're being thrown out on the street.
Eric wouldn't do that. He is a very sweet man when you get to know him.
Right. And how well do you know him?
Well,
That well, eh?
Have you been out with Eric?
Only for a drink.
You never told us.
He told me not to.
Why? Why would he say that?
I think he's just naturally secretive.
Married more like.
No, he's not.
I think you'll find he is.
No, he is not. His wife died last year.
Probably murdered her.
That's a dreadful thing to say.
Murdered her?
No, that's just Diane being Diane.
Oh, now, ladies, I need to tell you about the museum closure.
What's going to happen to the statues?
Well, that's the really sad thing. They're all going to be sold off.
Oh, no, they couldn't do that. I'd really miss them. I can't imagine my life without them. Oh,
No loss.
it's a huge loss.
No, you, not statues.
Well, you must see that they can't stay here with the museum closed.
But I've dusted these statues for years. I feel like they're part of my family.
Yeah, dusty, inanimate objects. Can see the likeness.
Are you referring to my gym?
No.
So, they're all going to be auctioned off.
Frederick would turn in his grave.
Yes, he would. His wonderful works of art scattered around the world. He always wanted them to stay in this house where he worked.
Oh, he did. Do you remember? You once said to me, Grace, look after my treasures.
You knew him.
Oh, yeah, very well.
I don't believe you. You didn't even live in this village when he was alive.
Well, doesn't mean I didn't know him, I did.
Oh, why have you never mentioned it before?
Oh, forgotten.
You mean to say that you've worked in this museum that's dedicated to Frederick Scott, who you claim to know, for years and years, and you've never mentioned it before?
Well, I think I must probably have. I'm always chatting about something.
No, about him. About Frederick Scott.
Well, you all know so much about him, there didn't seem any point in saying anything.
Well, I didn't live here. I mean, what was he like?
Oh, he had beautiful hands and long, tapering fingers.
Oh, poor man. He died horribly.
There was a lot of speculation about his death.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, everyone knew how he died.
Oh, not actually about his death, but about the circumstances around his death. You know, like, was it an accident? Was it suicide? Was he pushed?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean? Yes.
Well, I was agreeing with you.
Do you know something about his death?
No. There's a rose that's coming flower in my garden.
Are you being invasive?
No, it's called Monopoly. It's my favourite.
Anyway, ladies, we've got to move out. So if you've got any personal belongings, you need to take them away with you.
When?
Today. We're closing today.
Is this the volunteers' room?
Yes.
Good, I've come to volunteer. I just love his work. I'm enraptured by it. Now, I can do Monday mornings, Tuesday afternoons, and Friday around midday. Is that any good?
No, you're too late.
Not a good attitude. Never say that. I never do. Always look on the bright side, and whatever is wrong can be sorted. Problems are solutions in reverse. Now, who do I speak to about volunteering?
Me, but it's no good.
Oh, I think you'll find it is. Now, I can do this. Do we guide or do we just impart knowledge? You see, I've been mugging up on Frederick. Test me, see how much I know.
Oh, when was he born?
Easy. 1937.
How much did his last sculpture sell for?
2.8 million to an Australian collector.
How many children did he have?
3.
Wrong! Yeah, we had 2.
No, she's right.
No, she's not. It was 2.
How many wives did he have?
2. And a lover.
No, that's wrong. He had 2 wives and no lover.
Well, maybe you don't know everything. Now, when do I start?
I'm trying to tell you, you don't. We're finished.
Well, I'll start tomorrow then.
No, the museum is closed. Closed for good. Never to open again.
That can't be right. He wanted his work displayed here.
Oh, you're right. I remember. He said to me, Gracie, look after my treasure.
Grace. So you're Grace.
Oh, yes. Do you know me? You know, only I don't think I know you, but then I might do, because I'm terrible with faces and names, and people are always coming up to me and talking to me, and I never know who they are. What's your name?
Josie.
No? No memory? No.
But you remember Frederick?
Oh, I remember Frederick. He was a lovely man, and do you know, he said to me, Grace, look after my treasure.
Look, but you can't let this museum be closed. Who says it has to be?
The trustees, but it isn't their fault. There isn't any money.
You know, money, that's all I hear about these days, lack of money. This is a great collection of work by an English sculptor. You know, if it was by a French sculptor, the French government would step in and fund it. Have you asked our government to do the same?
Well, they've tried all the usual trust funds.
But this is a great collection of work. It's important. Don't you understand that?
Of course we do. And we certainly don't need you telling us. We've all worked here for many years.
And yet, you are quite happy to sit there and let this museum close.
It's Eric's fault. He's made a mess of the accounts.
It is not Eric's fault if no one wants to come to the museum.
Look, have you advertised?
It's not up to us. That's the trustees' job. We have our own jobs to do, and we do them very capably.
Apart from Grace.
I sell the tickets and stamp them.
Yeah, we get everything wrong.
And yet, you're just happy to sit here and do nothing.
Well, if the trustees say it's going to close, what can we do?
What a sorry lot you are! You've got to stand up to them. Tell them that this museum is not going to close. You, what's your name?
My name is Valerie Yell. To whom am I speaking?
Josie Richards. I would say I'm pleased to meet you, but I'm not. I'm thoroughly disappointed in the whole lot of you.
Who are you to come in here and talk to us in such a hectoring manner?
I'm sure she didn't mean it. I'm sure she's just...
Oh, shut up, Sally! No one was your opinion.
Now, ladies, let's fall out.
No, please, could we be nice to each other? Because otherwise I might get a headache and I haven't got any aspirins or... Have you got any aspirins? Just in case I do get a headache.
I think there's some here somewhere.
Excuse me, sir. Let me see if I've got this right. Someone called Eric has made a mess of the accounts, and because of this, the museum has to close.
In a nutshell.
Well, who is this Eric?
Boyfriend.
He is not my boyfriend. We've just been out for a drink. Though he did ring last night, so we might be going out again. I didn't say I would, and I didn't say I wouldn't.
Disgusting.
Look, what did Eric say about this museum closing?
Well, he said, Sally, I've got something to tell you. And I said, have you? And he said, yes. And then I went a bit coy because I thought he was going
Oh,
to...
just get on with it, will ya?
Well, I thought naturally he was going to ask me something of a personal nature.
But what did he say about the museum closing?
He said, Sally, I've got something to tell you.
Oh, move it along! The museum closing, what did he say?
He said there wasn't enough money to keep it open.
You mean he told you before he told me?
I don't think he meant to.
But I'm lead volunteer. I should have been told first.
Well, it was only because we were having a drink.
No, I take a very dim view of it. I've been lead volunteer.
Yeah. And you let Grace go on the front desk when she can't add up, so don't pull rank on us.
Can I do? Sometimes.
When?
Saturdays.
Don't work here on Saturdays.
I don't have to add up on a Saturday.
How much money can it need?
Well, Frederick did leave a bequest to keep the house open to the public.
Good, so what's happened to that money?
I believe it was invested.
Yeah, by stupid Eric, and now it's all gone.
It is not Eric's fault. He is very good with money.
Yeah, he's so good that we got none left.
Well, in any case, it makes no difference. We get one school party a year and that's about it.
Yeah, and they leave fingerprints everywhere. And chewing gum all over the floor. You know what? I have written to the Prime Minister on more than one occasion, and not once has he written back to me.
I think he's got more to worry about than chewing gum.
Yes, these are national treasures. You know, you should have coachloads of people coming to see them. You should make contact with all the coach companies and arrange tours and serve teas and... Why don't you have a cafe here?
Because we've never had a cafe.
That isn't a reason.
Well, it is an idea I had myself some 25 years ago, so don't think you're original. You are not. I had the same idea.
So why don't you have a cafe?
It wouldn't have worked.
Well, why not?
I didn't think it would.
Well, of course it would. I mean, if you had coachloads of people coming here, they'd all want tea.
Well, that's the whole point. We don't have coach parties here.
Then get coach parties.
Oh yes, hold on a minute. I'll just conjure some up with my magic wand.
Look, you should make lots of telephone calls to all of the coach companies and tell them about the wonderful cream teas and the amazing new cafe.
There isn't a cafe.
Why not? Look,
Because there isn't room.
you could convert this room.
Oh, no, hang on. This is our room.
Yes.
This is the volunteers' personal room.
Well, surely the volunteers might be willing to sacrifice their room to save the museum.
Oh yeah, a few cream teas make a fortune.
There's money in cream tea.
Oh yes, and who's going to organise them and serve them?
Volunteers. So the money would go straight back to the museum.
No. I am not making cream teas, and I'm not serving them either. I don't mind showing people the statues, but I'm taking no menial role.
I make a lovely scone.
I've got a pot of strawberry jam at home.
Then we'd only need the cream.
Look, no one is going to be making or serving cream teas.
Why not?
Because I said not. We've never had a cafe, and we're certainly not going to start now. The museum is closing, and that's all there is to it.
That is a defeatist attitude. I'm appalled.
And it's got nothing to do with you. You're not even a volunteer.
No, I'm just his daughter.
What?
What did you say?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. We know it's children.
Yeah. It must be lovely having a famous father.
Oh.
That's nice.
I don't mean to be rude, but I must ask you to leave. We can't have strange women coming in here and making a ridiculous claim and upsetting everyone.
But I am Frederick Scott's daughter.
No, a fantasist, more like.
Right, a fantasist. You know what, I've met more than one of your type in my life, and you're nothing but a bunch of liars, living in some sort of dream world and making things up. You should see a psychiatrist.
I know a good one.
And you know I'm telling the truth.
Your name's not Josie, is it?
So you do know who I am.
What is going on here?
This woman is not who she says she is.
So, who did she say she was?
I'm Frederick Scott's daughter.
Oh, that's not possible. He had 2 children, a son who moved to Australia and a daughter who lives in Scotland. She has visited here on several occasions.
Oh, I made tea for her. Yeah, she likes it weak with 2 sugars. And, she had a custard cream as well, I remember, because I'd been to Tesco's that morning. It was a good job. And it was 2 for 1 offer, I remember.
And you look nothing like her. There you are, 2 children, all accounted for.
He had a 3rd child. Another daughter. Are you Rosalind?
Yes.
Hang on, if your name's Rosalind, why are you calling yourself Josie? We need to get to the bottom of this.
No, I'm the leader of the volunteers. It's up to me to deal with this. So, your name is Rosalind,
Yes.
and yet you call yourself Josie.
Oh God, we've been through all this. Let me deal with it.
No, I won't. It's my job.
Look, no museum, no volunteers. You're finished.
We're all finished.
I will not let you close my father's museum.
Well, how do we know he was your father?
Ask her.
Grace.
My rose has 2 buds on it.
Never mind your Rose. What about her?
She has the look of him.
Oh, yes. She has his eyes.
Look, I've bought my birth certificate. Look, it's in here. I can prove it. Look.
Then why didn't you just come in and say you were his daughter? Why did you pretend to be someone else?
I wasn't going to say anything. I wanted to come and work here and be near his work and not say anything about being his
It's a very odd way of carrying on.
Yes, it must seem so.
Well, in any case, it makes no difference. The museum is finishing, and you won't have a job here.
Well, look, think about it though. I mean, it would be quite a novelty having Frederick Scott's daughter here giving tours.
She's got a point, you know. We could do special tours and charge extra.
I suppose we could have lectures in the evenings once a month or something and serve suppers.
And maybe this room is big enough for a cafe.
Easily, and it wouldn't take much to set up.
Well, I might be prepared to help and chip in. My Arthur left me very well off. And it would be a public-spirited thing to do with some of his money. Now, I would need a plaque, though, stating that the money had come from me. I quite like that idea. In the entrance hall, very visible when the visitors come in.
What about the trustees?
Yeah, I could do the organising and the ordering. I'm not really good at that.
Oh, no. Leave the trustees to me. I'll tell that silly little Eric that I'm not a woman to be trifled with. And if I say the museum is going to stay open, then open it will stay. Oh, yes. I am the leader of the volunteers. I'll be the one to do it.
But you ain't going to be the leader anymore, are you? Not with Frederick Scott's daughter here.
You must still be in charge, of course, and I'll simply do the special tours. It would be an honour to work with such an excellent lead volunteer.
Well, I think it might work. I think we can save the museum. How splendid that I was able to save it.
Yes, I think we can save it too. What about you, Grace? Would you like to come back and stamp the tickets?
No, I think I'll be leaving.
I don't want you to do that.
I didn't do it, you know.
I know you didn't.
Everybody thought I did.
I didn't. I knew you wouldn't.
You remember me, don't you?
Mum. Of course I remember. How can I forget? It was the worst day of my life.
What are you talking about? Grace can't be your mother. She hasn't got any kids.
I've got Rosalind. And she is Frederick's daughter. We were on holiday in Italy and we were all on the balcony and Rosalind was asleep. Frederick was having a drink. Sometimes drank too much. And he leant over the edge and it just all collapsed and it fell. The Italian police arrested me and accused me of his murder. My cousin came and took Rosalind home. I spent 2 years in an Italian prison before they found me innocent. When I came back, I had certain difficulties. And they deemed me unfit to look after my own child. They put me in a variety of hospitals and it seemed unkind, the kindest thing to do, not to tell Rosalind what her mother had become. And, well, I started to feel a little bit more like myself then, and well, I came here to be close to Frederick's work. And oh, Rosalind, I've been a terrible mother to you. I should have kept in touch, but there were times I couldn't even keep in touch with myself, let alone you. Please, you forgive me?
Mum, I'm here to look after you now. I moved here to be closer to Dad's work and to you. Let's build this museum up again. It's what Dad would have wanted.
We got work to do. I'm the lead volunteer. It's up to me to tell them to stop it.
And you've done a wonderful job so far.
Oh, and if this museum's going to stay open, I'll better get some new dusters and get dusted.
Yeah, right now. How many scones are we going to need on a daily basis?
So I think we should start with the coach company.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, I'll make a list for you.
I can make my own list, thank you very much.
Oh, and Grace, perhaps you ought to resume your desk duties.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, you can't add up.
Don't speak to my mother like that.
No, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take the tea money. I can do that, can't I?
Of course you can. You can do anything you want, Mum.
I can have a cash register.
No, we need to make a profit.
If my mum wants a cash register, then she must have a cash register.
I decide who does what.
Oh, you see, because that's funny, and I thought it was the trustees, and they may decide, I'm not saying they would, but they may decide to appoint a new lead volunteer. And I might decide, I'm not saying I would, I might decide to apply for the job myself.
Cash register. They're all computerised these days. You can't let her have a computerised cash register.
Oh, she could be trained.
Oh, good luck with that.
My mum can do anything she puts her mind to.
Yes, I can. But only on Saturday.
You don't work on Saturdays.
I don't work on Thursdays.
It is Thursday.
No, I don't go out on Thursday.
You are out.
No, only on a Tuesday.
Oh, for God's sake.